Alright, so we're going to get right into it. I'm going to list basically 5 reasons why I think Windows 10 is not as good, or Windows 10 sucks, if you will. Not as good as previous other systems in certain aspects. Number one reason, I just don't feel it's as quick. Even on decent hardware, it just does not seem as fast to me as it did on, say, Windows 7 or Windows XP. From the past. I mean, a lot of people, if you keep up with computer stuff, a lot of people know that Windows Vista was horrible. Vista was a memory hog back in the day, and then Windows 7 kind of made everything better. 8, of course, everybody hated when it first came out because of the interface changes, and then when 10 came out, it seemed like, all was better, but still, not quite as good as 7. As you can see right here, the machine I'm on, this is a Windows 7 professional computer, so I do have another machine with 10 on it. Obviously, doing computer work, I got to keep up with the times and keep relevant, but this is one of my main machines I use every day, and everything I have on it works great. All the software works, so if it ain't broke, why fix it? Windows 7 Pro is still fantastic in a lot of ways. So that's number one reason why I just feel is Windows 7 is just faster on the same hardware. Now, don't get me wrong, you can run Windows 10 really well, but I just don't feel it's as snappy as what 7 is. So that would be, first of all, reason number one. The second reason I don't like it as much as the GUI or the GUI interface is just not, to me, not as nicely laid out as 7. The perfect example of that would be right here. When I click Start down at the bottom left corner, I can go up here to Control Panel. When I hit on Control Panel, this is the last thing I was on the other day, looking at something with my audio interface, but this is the normal look here. But anyway, yeah, so you look at this control panel. I mean, it's nice and clean, it's simple, or you can adjust by category, icons, whatever you want to do there. Honestly, it's just easy to find what I'm looking for. I mean, that's been similar forever, and then you get on Windows 10 and it's just, a big bloated mess on certain settings. Or if you got to come down here to the start button, you actually got to type in the word control panel, which isn't that hard, but that'll bring up like the original control panel on 10, which looks pretty close. But for a lot of people, they're just not thinking that through. I mean, I've had countless phone calls since 10 came out of just how do I even get to the control panel. I mean, that's some users don't even need to go in there at all, but I've had a lot of people say, yeah, I'm just looking for this simple setting. Where in the heck do I go to find it? Of course, the obvious answer is, well, did you try Google searching? Of course, many people don't think of that. So you just got to go, figure it out. But it's just, yeah, the GUI interfaces, some of the new, some of the old, it's just kind of a clustered mess. I mean, again, it's workable, but not nearly as clean as Windows 7. The third thing is just, to me, random glitchy errors with just weird stuff happening sometimes. For example, you reboot the machine and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, blue screen of death has happened. I mean, to me personally, I haven't had that. But I've seen plenty of customers with perfectly fine machines, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just airs out. So I mean, I tell people now, you really can't own a Windows 10 machine unless you are backing it up regularly with a external hard drive at a minimum, getting an image backup, for business users every day, or at least once a week or once a month for everybody else. I mean, it's too much of a headache if you got to reinstall Windows and reinstall software and do all this stuff. So anybody not backing up today with Windows 10, you are a crazy fool not to. It's just, you never know when that can happen. So my next reason pretty much ties in with this is Windows updates are horrible at best. They can botch at any time. Especially Windows 10 home users, it's just horrible. You have next to little control without third-party applications and or going into the registry and hacking that up and disabling it, which I know some people will do that. Windows 10 Pro and Enterprise, at least you get a little bit more control over that. You can actually delay the big updates. quite frankly, for a lot of my customers, if they have Windows 10 Pro, I just delay all the big updates by 6 months. I figure within 6 months, they probably have things figured out by then. I'm meaning Microsoft, meaning hopefully they got it figured out. But if you're a home user, you're just simply screwed. I mean, those updates will come in whenever they want. And if it botches it, it botches it. And again, being a computer person, I can't just stop that for every single person. I mean, I'd spend an eternal amount of time, doing that and hoping that it works the next time. So, I mean, the only way to really avoid it is just simply, you got to have good solid backups because you never know when this crap could happen. So Windows 10 home users especially, got to have backups. So that would be that main reason. And let's see, my next one that I wrote down, a lot of specified user settings just randomly go back to defaults after a large update. This was never a problem in the past, but for some reason with Windows 10, you could have, your default applications and just all kinds of mostly little settings, but it can really annoy or really bring a regular user down that just doesn't really know what they're doing that well. For example, a lot of times, a lot of folks like Google Chrome, so I will make Chrome their default browser for the computer. So they got, 7 different shortcuts out on their desktop to go to their favorite websites. Well, next time Windows 10 has a major update, all of a sudden it changes to Microsoft Edge. Now they open up all their websites and it goes to Edge. Well, guess what? None of the login information is in there because they never use Edge. So now they're all bamboozled, can't figure it out. They call me up, I look, and then figured out all it was Chrome needed set back to their default browser. So something really small, a lot of, average computer users don't know that stuff. I mean, it sounds something really simple if you're a computer user, but a lot of novice users just don't know that stuff. So it can really cause a lot of headaches if you, don't know that area of your computer that well. So that was that reason. And then last, but certainly not least, just the whole privacy issue. And again, our world is forever becoming where there basically is next to no privacy anymore with a lot of this stuff. But Windows 10 has taken it to pretty extreme levels, which I think in a lot of ways that's one reason they've given it away for free and actually continue giving it away for free. I mean, you can still activate a Windows 7 or a Windows 8 license to 10 still for free, even in 2019. And it's just one of those things that because it was given away free, I think Microsoft basically, is reselling user information. So they're making more money that way than probably selling a Windows upgrade to you for $99 or $199 or whatever the Pro edition is. So there are ways, different ways you can shut off some of the tracking settings and different things. There's many articles out there online about that stuff, but honestly, I think it's pretty tough to stop all of it. And then on top of that, you got Google tracking everything. YouTube is part of Google, so if you're watching this right now, you're already in Google's system. So it's pretty tough to avoid that stuff if you're one of those that are trying to avoid it. As you can see with this article that I got pulled up on the screen here, I'll link this down there if you guys want to read it. I just ran across this quite a while ago, actually. Just had it bookmarked here forever, but it just kind of talks about basically why Windows 10 sucks, and it mentioned a lot of what I've already talked about here, but different problems present and the privacy stuff and how the updates are harder to control now and just stuff like that. And there's literally over 3,000 comments here too, so a lot of reading if you want to go through that stuff. But overall though, Windows 10, I guess it's a usable system. Again, it is what it is. Moving forward, I mean, I have to keep up with it because I fix computers for a living. So whether I like it or not, I have to work with Windows 10 because that's what everybody's going to eventually have. Do I like Windows 7 better at this point? Absolutely. And as you can see here, this machine I'm on is Windows 7. I prefer it. But like I said, I've already got a 10 machine. I got to keep up with the time. So 10 is okay too. I mean, I can use it and all that, but if I had my way, I would definitely take 7 every day of the week. over it, but because 2020 is coming up and 7 updates are about to be shut down, probably just be a matter of time. I'll still use this machine here. I mean, this machine runs great. I mean, I'm still going to use it for a lot of things, but I'll say probably in the next year to two, I won't be using it nearly as much because no more updates, etc. So, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.